Mason.
Go on.
Trailers ahoy.
Ha.
Very good. What do you want to talk about first? Dune Part 2 or Gran Turismo? It's very lame.
I don't know, but I think we should have a segment going forward called Dune Part 2 at Gran Turismo. Some sort of quiz? I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe when they come out, we can do it with,
I love
lines from those movies, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's talk about Dune Part 2.
Okay, so this one, as we talked about last week, is going to pick up directly after the end of Dune Part 1. I saw a great Onion headline that was like, Dune Part 2 will pick up directly after from where you fell asleep during the first one, which is also unfair because I do like that movie a lot. But yeah, what are you feeling from it? It doesn't seem like it. You know, often they'll come back to a sequel and everybody looks different and like it's the aesthetic and this isn't doesn't feel like it picked up. If you look at like Back to the Future 1 and Back to the Future 2, there are like noticeable differences in like everybody's age and they also recast Jennifer, so that was obviously
sure, right? Yeah,
that was a big deal, man.
And in the Back to the Future 2, they went in the future, and Back to the Future they went in the past. So
I completely forgot about that.
It's a little continuity error that not everybody picks up on, but I did.
Absolutely.
I don't know. This is looking good.
He's riding some sandworms. Apparently, a lot of that is practical.
Oh,
yeah.
He's just riding regular worms. They've sized it up in Photoshop.
Yeah, they've sized him down or sized it up. I don't know exactly, but yeah, a lot of those for real.
They've got a worm farm.
Oh,
they've put that really close to the camera.
Yeah,
and they've put Timothée Chalamet really far from the camera.
That's perfect, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe they went to the big worm, which you can see on their way to Phillip Island.
That's right.
Remember that? You know that big worm?
Yeah, the big wet worm. Big wet.
This is a real worm, though.
Oh, sorry.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what the big worm is.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. As if I wouldn't know what the big worm.
You know what the big worm is. They might have built a new freeway around the big wet worm. I haven't seen it in a while. Yeah. It's not wet. Just want to clarify that.
When it rains, it could be wet.
That's true.
Yeah. Austin Butler, we got our first look at Austin Butler.
Yeah, what do you think?
Looks great and weird.
Is he going to do this voice? We talked about it last week.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you think? He just looks like he's the kind of guy who would be doing some
Brando.
I'm doing some actions that people aren't saying.
Yeah.
Who else we got in this? Who's new? Florence Pugh is new.
Florence Pugh's new in Dune Part 2.
That's right. What else we got? I'm trying to remember it off it just continues to look great.
It does, doesn't it?
Visually spectacular movie.
Yeah.
What is going to be interesting about this, though, is the first one did I feel like just well enough to warrant a sequel.
And to save movies.
Also at the same time. It did both hand in hand. And I don't know, have people been watching this? Will they come back to it?
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Because Denis Villeneuve also is notorious for making these huge,
big failures. You can say it.
Incredible.
You can say big failures.
Big failures, but genuinely terrific movies.
Big box office turds, you can say, James.
Not Dune, though.
No. I think this will do better than the previous one.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think word has spread.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to then go on and do more off the back of that? Because the books get quite bizarre, don't they? I do like the there is that aspect of when he's trying to climb onto the big worm to ride it. And just the idea of falling into a pit of sand and getting sucked under is no, thank you very much. Yeah,
brings to mind our childhood fear of quicksand.
Yeah, which isn't real.
Yeah, correct.
Very
but
exciting.
In this universe, it is.
It is real. It's very real. Big worms too. Yeah.
Timothée Chalamet got the lecture from Duke Atreides. He's like, "No, remember we always told you about the quicksand. Well, it's real.
Yeah,
it's real.
Absolutely." How do you feel? Because I know you're one of the few people who, that walk that they do across the Dune Desert to not attract the sandworms. You've adopted that since that first movie came out. How is that affecting your day to day?
It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. But I mean, on one hand, I haven't attracted any sandworms.
Sure, that's one part of it.
Yeah.
It's also kind of viral marketing, isn't it? In a way.
That's true.
That nobody's paying you for.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I mean, it stuffed my back, obviously.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, Mason.
Yeah.
Speaking of stuff.
Javier Bardem's in it.
Yeah.
He
was in the first one.
At
the end of the first one.
That's right, yeah. But big role for him, probably.
Big role for Javier Bardem. So I literally just watched the trailer for Gran Turismo. It came out earlier this week, and I'm like, I'll get to it.
Yeah.
But this movie, there's a couple of things that were a surprise to me. One is that Neil Blomkamp is directing it.
Yes.
Which I did not know. I like his movies, and I'm glad that he's doing more movies.
So do you think Chappie will be in this?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's going to be really exciting.
So this is based on true events, apparently.
Yeah.
And obviously it's about a kid who is really good at Gran Turismo and gets
so good, in fact.
Yes.
No, go on.
Oh. that he gets into a Gran Turismo tournament. And then they're like,
he's so good, in fact.
Then they're like, how about you drive some Gran Turismo cars for real?
Yeah. And he's so good, in fact.
That he has to drive against Chappie at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting approach
Yeah.
to this movie. Probably better than just a race car movie, I guess.
Well, because then it's just like, hey, what if we...
When you were telling me this, because you just before the show, literally just now, slightly before now,
Right.
you said that it was based on. I'm like, that cannot be true,
Right?
surely.
But you're right. Otherwise, it's just some made-up guys in a real
Need for Speed movie.
Need for Speed movie. And it's like, all right, well, what else did some fake guys do? You know?
I'd love to know.
I'd love to know.
Tell me all about him.
But this is also that we're in this pocket of movies that are the history of a product. Like it's not quite that, but it feels like it fits in there. It's like a 2-hour advertisement for the product, like Air or Tetris, or what's that one that's got Glenn Houghton in it?
Oh, BlackBerry.
Yeah, that one actually looks insane.
It's an ad for BlackBerry. A phone that nobody has.
Well, then it's out of business now, I'm pretty sure. But that one looks demented. Like,
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, like it.
That one of all the ones looks fake.
Yeah, it
like
does.
a made up.
It looks like an SNL sketch or something like that. But I haven't seen any of them. But as far as I know, Tetris is doing quite well.
Yeah,
or people seem to like the Tetris one. A lot of people seem ambivalent to Air. And again, I'm looking.
I think people liked Air, didn't they? But no, people who saw it liked it, but it has not done well. Like it has bombed. Yeah. It's one of the biggest bombs of the year.
Oh, but speaking of, did you see that Affleck and Damon?
They've been just wandering around together.
They've just been wandering around, but also speaking of like writers and compensation for writers and stuff like that, apparently they did like a pass on the script for Air. Yeah. Like a different writer wrote it and they like made some notes and stuff. And what they could then do is then you have to go to arbitration and be like, well, who really did write this and blah, blah, blah. And they could have taken some credit and stuff like that. But
and they did.
They took it all.
Yeah.
No, they were just like, it's your script. You know, you get all the credit for it, which I think is quite nice.
We're just the famous faces.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they started out with, Good Will Hunting. And,
exactly.
If somebody had taken the credit for that, who knows where they'd
I actually took the credit for that one.
You son of a bitch.
They don't know that. But,
you are a cheeky chappy.
Now,
You're a real little stinker.
Thank you. Just on the topic of blackberries and whether or not they're still around, there's a quote, when you Google it, it says, are blackberries native to Australia? And apparently they actually originate in Europe. So that's interesting.
You idiot.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that. That's all. So that's very
no, you're
an idiot.
Yeah, that's actually.
I love blackberries. I mean, they're an absolute weed here, but love them, mate.
They're great.
Big fan of blackberries. Thank you very much. Cool, man.
Very cool.
Anything else on Gran Turismo?
I don't.
It's a real movie, though, isn't it?
I want to watch it.
It's a real movie, though, isn't it?
It feels like
Orlando Bloom's in it. David Harbour's in it.
That's true.
Jerry Halliwell is in it.
Jerry Halliwell's in it?
Apparently.
Whoa.
I didn't see her in the trailer, but yeah, man.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, cool. All right.